Hi, how are you?
Running a food pantry
There's a lot of fresh food in here, so.
takes efficiency.
And so if you can imagine a box per person, one dry box, one cold box, it moves quickly.
Integrated Family Community Services in Englewood says it also takes adaptation.
The demands of growing 900% during COVID.
Todd McPherson is Director of Development here. With ever-increasing demand, they're keeping an eye on the impacts that may come from something out of their control. Specifically, the proposed merger between Kroger and Albertsons, whose stores sometimes help supply the nonprofit. On Thursday, Colorado's Democratic Attorney General Phil Weiser announced that they'll lead a multi-state investigation into the merger.
We are going to have a team in our office that will analyze this merger in terms of its economic and competitive impacts. And that team is going to hear from the public. And we are going to have that team work with similar teams in other states.
Concerns about the merger include rising prices in food and the consolidation or closure of stores, worsening the landscape already posed on Colorado's food deserts, for example. The team here is watching to see if a merger like this happens creates a domino effect, leading to the demand for their services.
People needing to rely on us more. And when we're restricted by how much we can give, it kind of makes you feel a little awkward that you would want to do more.
But this team is used to adapting.
We want to maximize what we can do for people.
So today, Attorney General Weiser also filed a brief to try and stop Albertsons' $4 billion payout to its investors while the merger is under review. And that backs a motion for preliminary injunction that was filed by Washington State's Attorney General there. Tom Kim, oral arguments there are expected to start tomorrow, so we're going to soon be getting more updates on this.
Well, there's a lot at stake here for consumers when you talk about things like food deserts and prices.
Right.
And there's a lot at stake for workers as well.
Yeah, absolutely. On a federal level, Colorado can do some things independent of the Federal Trade Commission. In the past, they have stepped in on a few mergers that ended up being canceled. So there's a couple things that our state can independently do.
Thanks for shining a light on an angle that I don't think many of us had thought about right away when we talk about this merger. It's such a big thing, complex.
They keep a close eye, these nonprofits, on the food deserts that they serve, their most heavily needed to be served communities, and so they're just trying to keep a close eye on
And not every merger affects everyone.
Right.
This would affect pretty much everyone.
Everyone.
Depending on how it works. Luis, thanks as always.